The curious visitor. It was a warm afternoon in a small, quiet town. Children were laughing in the park, riding bicycles in circles, racing each other, and ringing their bells. Parents sat on benches, chatting and keeping watch. It was an ordinary day, calm and peaceful. No one knew that in a few moments, the entire town would witness something that would be remembered forever. A strange sound filled the air. It was not the sound of a car, or a plane, or even thunder. It was a deep hum, low and powerful, as if the sky itself was vibrating. The children stopped riding, their bicycles wobbling to a halt. Dogs barked, birds flew away, and the parents stood quickly, staring upward. The clouds parted with a flash of light from the sky. A shape descended slowly, glowing and strange. It was not a helicopter, not a balloon, not anything the people had seen before. It was a ship, sleek and silver, shaped like a teardrop, drifting silently down. It landed gently in the open field near the park, the ground trembling slightly as it touched down. Everyone gasped, frozen in shock. Some parents pulled their children back, others whispered in fear, but the children, curious and brave, leaned forward to see. The ship's side opened with a hiss, releasing a soft cloud of mist, and from the glowing doorway, a figure stepped out. The figure was tall and slim, its skin glowing faintly like polished silver. Its eyes were large, bright, and filled with curiosity, not anger. It wore no armor, carried no weapon, only a flowing robe that shimmered in colors of blue and green. The people stared, whispering, "An alien." For a moment, silence filled the air, heavy and tense. The alien walked slowly, its steps graceful and careful. It looked around the park, tilting its head, studying the humans and their bicycles. Children hid behind their parents, but peeked out with wide eyes. The alien's gaze stopped on one thing: the bicycle. It stepped closer to a red bicycle, lying on the grass. Bending down, it touched the handlebars with long, glowing fingers. The bicycle bell jingled softly, and the alien tilted its head again, fascinated. It lifted the bicycle with ease, examining the wheels, the pedals, the chain. Its glowing eyes followed the motion as it spun the wheel. Then, with a childlike gesture, it pointed to itself, then to the bicycle seat. The meaning was clear. It wanted to ride. The parents gasped, some shouting, "No, it's too dangerous." But the alien only smiled, a warm smile that seemed more human than anyone expected. There was no threat in its eyes, only pure curiosity. The townsfolk hesitated, torn between fear and wonder. And then, one brave boy stepped forward. His name was Daniel, a boy of 12, wearing a cap and dusty sneakers. He looked at the alien, then at the bicycle. "Do you want me to show you?" he asked softly, his voice shaking. The alien blinked, then gave a slow nod. Its glowing eyes brightened, and it stepped back, waiting. Daniel picked up his own bicycle and swung his leg over. He pedaled in a slow circle, showing the alien how it worked. The wheels spun, the pedals turned, and the chain rattled. The alien watched closely, its head following every move. Daniel stopped in front of it, smiling nervously. "See, it's easy," he said, though inside he wasn't sure if teaching an alien was really easy at all. The alien looked at the red bicycle again. It set one glowing hand on the handlebars, then placed a foot awkwardly on the pedal. The crowd gasped, holding their breath. Daniel moved closer, ready to catch it if it fell. Slowly, carefully, the alien lowered itself onto the seat. The bicycle wobbled dangerously, the wheels twisting left and right. The alien's long legs struggled to find balance. The people whispered, some covering their mouths. Would it crash? Would it break the bicycle? The alien pressed its glowing hands tightly on the handlebars, its face serious with focus. It tried to push the pedal down, but the bicycle tipped with a loud crash. It fell sideways into the grass. The children burst out laughing, covering their mouths. The alien sat up, blinking in surprise, then gave a small laugh too. It wasn't angry, it found it funny. Daniel grinned, stepping forward. "Don't worry, everyone falls the first time." The alien tilted its head, then nodded as if understanding. It picked the bicycle up again and sat down once more. The townsfolk murmured nervously, their fear slowly turning into curiosity for the first time. They weren't just afraid, they were interested. This alien wasn't here to fight, it was here to learn. As the alien tried again, wobbling and falling, the suspense grew. Each attempt made the crowd lean forward, hearts racing. Would it succeed, or would it crash again? The alien didn't give up. its glowing eyes full of determination, and as the sun dipped lower in the sky, casting long shadows, the people of the little town realized they were watching something no human had ever seen before, an alien learning to ride a bicycle. The first lesson, the alien sat once again on the red bicycle, its glowing silver hands gripping the handlebars tightly. Its tall frame looked awkward on the small human bike, but its glowing eyes shone with determination. Daniel stood beside it, holding the seat to keep it steady. "Okay," Daniel said softly, "you just have to push the pedals and keep your balance." The alien blinked slowly, then nodded, as if it understood every word. The townsfolk gathered closer, forming a nervous circle around the park. Some whispered, some laughed, and some held their children's hands tightly. The bicycle wobbled as the alien pressed one glowing foot on the pedal. Daniel gave a small push, and suddenly the bicycle rolled forward. The alien's robe shimmered in the sunlight, glowing strands of its hair flowing like ribbons. For a moment, it looked like the alien had it, but then the wheels shook wildly, the handlebars twisted, the alien tilted too far to the side, and with a loud crash, it fell flat into the grass again. The crowd gasped, then laughed nervously. Daniel rushed over, helping the alien to its feet. "You're okay," he said quickly. "That was better than before." The alien brushed itself off, bits of grass sticking to its glowing robe. It gave a short laugh, a soft musical sound like chimes. Everyone froze for a moment. An alien laughing was the last thing they expected. But the sound was so gentle and kind that even the parents began to smile. The alien lifted the bicycle again, its glowing fingers tapping the handlebars. It looked at Daniel, who nodded in encouragement. This time, the alien climbed back onto the seat with more care. Daniel held the back tightly, running beside it. As the alien pedaled, the bicycle rolled forward faster, the wheels spinning smoothly. The alien's legs moved clumsily, but it was improving. The crowd leaned forward, suspense building with every second. "Go on," someone shouted. "You can do it," children cheered, their laughter turning into excitement instead of fear. The alien's glowing eyes widened as it realized it was moving without falling. Then, for the first time, Daniel let go. The alien was riding on its own. For 3 glorious seconds, it stayed balanced. The crowd clapped and gasped, but then, wobble, crash, the alien toppled sideways into a bush, bicycle and all. Leaves flew everywhere, branches snapped, and children burst into laughter. Even Daniel couldn't help but laugh, though he quickly helped the alien out of the bush. The alien had twigs stuck in its glowing hair, which shimmered with each movement. Instead of frowning, it tilted its head and let out another laugh. The sound spread through the crowd, and soon everyone was laughing with it, not at it. The lesson went on, again and again. The alien tried, falling into the grass, bumping into benches, and once even tipping over into a flower bed. Each mistake brought more laughter, but also more progress. Daniel's encouragement never stopped. "You're getting it," he said after every attempt. "Just keep going." Slowly, the alien began to understand. Its glowing body leaned at the right times. Its long legs pedaled more smoothly. The wobbles grew smaller, the crashes fewer. With every try, the alien's confidence grew. The once fearful crowd now clapped and cheered every time it stayed upright. The sun dipped lower, painting the sky in gold. The alien sat on the bicycle once more, this time straighter and steadier. Daniel gave a final push, and the bicycle rolled forward. The alien's glowing robe shimmered in the light, its eyes focused and calm. The wheels spun smoothly, the pedals turned evenly. This time, it did not wobble, it did not fall. The alien was riding. The crowd erupted in cheers, clapping and shouting. Children ran alongside, their bicycles jingling and rattling. Parents smiled, shaking their heads in disbelief. The alien pedaled around the park, leaving glowing trails in the air as its robe sparkled. For the first time, the townsfolk saw not a visitor to fear, but a friend learning something human. Daniel grinned proudly, running after the bicycle. "You did it," he shouted. "You're riding." The alien laughed again, the sound ringing through the park like music. It pedaled faster, circling the crowd, and though the ride ended with one last small crash into a pile of hay at the edge of the park, the lesson was clear. The alien was learning, and the humans were no longer afraid. Riding together, the park was filled with cheers and laughter. The alien stood beside the bicycle, brushing hay from its glowing robe, its silver skin shimmering under the golden sunset. Its bright eyes sparkled with joy, and for the first time since its arrival, The townsfolk smiled without fear. They had seen it fall, struggle, and laughed like any of them. Now, they were watching a moment no human had ever imagined. Daniel patted the alien on the arm, grinning from ear to ear. "You did it," he said proudly. "You can ride now." The alien tilted its head, then gave a warm nod, its glowing hair swaying like threads of light. The crowd clapped again, and children ran forward with their own bicycles. "Ride with us," one of them shouted. "Come on." The alien looked around at the group of laughing children. It blinked, then slowly climbed back onto the red bicycle. Daniel mounted his own bike and rode up beside it. "Let's go together," he said, his voice full of excitement. The alien glanced at him, then nodded once more. With a push of the pedals, both bicycles rolled forward. The alien's robe shimmered in the evening light, glowing brighter as it pedaled smoothly. Its glowing skin lit the road, and its wheels left faint trails of sparkling light behind. The children followed, ringing their bicycle bells, their laughter filling the air. Parents stood at the park's edge, shaking their heads in disbelief, but smiling all the same. The little procession rolled through the town. People came out of their homes to see what was happening. First they gasped, then they clapped and cheered, for there, in the middle of the street, an alien was riding a bicycle with human children. It was a sight both funny and magical, something no one would ever forget. The alien wobbled once or twice, but each time it steadied itself quickly. Its glowing eyes looked calm, almost proud. Daniel laughed. "See, I told you it was easy." The alien gave a soft musical laugh in return, its voice carrying like wind chimes. The humans who once feared it now laughed with it, their hearts lighter than ever. As they rode past the town square, the alien did something unexpected. It lifted one glowing hand from the handlebars and waved to the crowd. People waved back, cheering louder. For that moment, the alien wasn't a stranger or a visitor from another world. It was a rider, a friend, part of the town itself. When the ride finally slowed, the alien stopped in front of Daniel. It stepped off the bicycle gracefully, placing it gently back on the grass. Then, it reached into its glowing robe and pulled out a crystal. The crystal shimmered like a piece of a star, glowing with colors no human had ever seen. The alien held it out to Daniel, its eyes soft with gratitude. Daniel hesitated, his eyes wide. "For me," he whispered. The alien nodded, placing the crystal in his hands. The crowd gasped in wonder, for the crystal's light was brighter than gold. Daniel clutched it to his chest, smiling proudly. The alien then turned to the crowd, bowing its head slightly. It had no words, at least none they could understand, but its actions spoke louder than language. It had come not to fight, not to conquer, but to learn, and in learning, it had made a connection. The townsfolk clapped once more, cheering and laughing. The children begged, "Come back tomorrow, ride with us again." The alien tilted its head, its glowing eyes filled with kindness. It gave one last laugh, then stepped back toward its ship. The ship's doorway opened with a soft hum, light spilling across the field. Before leaving, the alien turned once more. It looked at Daniel, then at the crystal shining in his hands. Then, it pointed at the bicycle, and then at its own heart, a simple gesture. But its meaning was clear. Friendship, learning, and joy were stronger than fear. The ship rose slowly into the sky, glowing brighter as it lifted into the clouds. The crowd watched in silence, their hearts full of wonder. Daniel held the crystal close, whispering, "Goodbye, my friend." And as the ship vanished into the night, the boy looked at his bicycle and smiled. From that day on, the story spread far and wide. People told it again and again, the day an alien came to Earth, the day it sat on a human bicycle and learned to ride, and the day laughter, not fear, became the bridge between two worlds.